Hey friends, happy Saturday the 7th of August. Nice to be with you. If you work regular work weeks, I hope that you have some rest and some recreation lined out ahead of you. I'll give you a reflection on the daily readings for today, this Saturday, 18th week of Ordinary Time. There's a link to the readings in the sidebar. I invite you to click that link and read the readings prayerfully and then turn off the screen. Spend a little bit of time. We have Gospel of Matthew, and we're starting into the book of Deuteronomy. Technically, we would have had it yesterday, but yesterday was the Feast of the Transfiguration. Gospel of Matthew, we have Jesus healing someone, and then we have Jesus teaching about the gift of faith. Those who have a medical background look at this description of problems, this diagnosis. They see here that this might be a person that had epilepsy. Grateful that Jesus is able to cure him, but mindful that maybe faith healing isn't the only way in a modern context that we have to heal someone. So, maybe we enter into this with that desire for healing, whatever it is that we seek. But in addition to our desire in faith, that we also desire that the Lord would bring healing in other ways, perhaps through the hands of doctors or nurses, perhaps through faith, perhaps through mental health professionals, whatever it is that we might be seeking and asking the Lord to bring healing to us. We are mindful that we are not just mind, we are not just body, we are not just spirit, we are all combined, right? That's what makes us human. And so as we approach God in faith, in love for healing, we might walk down some different avenues in faith, seeking the healing of God. Always in the context of the Gospel of Matthew, right, to ask for the gift of faith, right? Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Lord, help me to just trust and to walk with you in love and in care. Perhaps that's a bit of that second part of Matthew's Gospel. Book of Deuteronomy, also kind of two parts. The second part of it is to be mindful of our blessings. And so here they're speaking of the blessings of the land, right? You did none of this labor. You didn't dig these cisterns. You didn't plant these vineyards, but they're the goodness of God. Perhaps you might be a little bit like me, and you might take things for granted. And it might just be useful to spend a little bit of time thanking God for blessings. One of the challenges sometimes I do is, I number 20 things in my journal, and I say the large and the small things for which I am grateful for. I haven't dug into the work on gratitude, but my understanding is that a practice of gratitude does actually change some of the pathways in our brains, something that I think that our spiritual ancestors have been aware of. The first half of this book, of this passage from Deuteronomy, very famous, right? Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is Lord alone. And you shall love the Lord your God. Here's my question for you. How are you doing at that? Right? The great commandment of Jesus, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. I don't know that I succeed on any of those three. I don't know that I love myself as I'm called to. I definitely know that I don't love my neighbor as I love myself. And do I love God with all of it? I mean, all of it? I get distracted. I want to. I really do. But I lose focus. I trust in my own strength. I turn away. I sin, right? How about for us? Here's the good thing. I think we got to hear this as Americans. It's not about us fixing this. It's not about us putting it on the to-do list. It's not about us making the action plan. It's about us recognizing that we don't love as we should. It's about us recognizing that we have disordered passions and desires. And over and over and over and over, we who live in the world just turn into the Lord and asking for that continued grace to let go of the good things of this world so that we really can live for God alone, above all things, and then in God that everything would have its proper place. So I just encourage you, in that book of Deuteronomy, be challenged. Recognize that it requires the goodness of God in our lives, working through us. Don't be afraid to hit our knees in humility, to beg for that grace of Jesus Christ to flow through us, to help us to truly love and to keep God first and foremost in our lives as we're called. All right, there you go. Book of Deuteronomy, Gospel of Matthew. Happy Saturday. Spend a little bit of time after you read those readings prayerfully. Just turn off the screen, spend some time, prayerful reflection with the Lord before you move on to other things. Let's be praying for each other, and let's especially be mindful of those that are having a hard time these days. God bless.